We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. You said in your live stream the other night, I'm going to have an intro one day. You do. You say, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? Or Heidi
Somebody
ho.
else said, don't change it,
Yeah. How y'all doing? Or Heidi ho.
Howdy,
Don't
y'all.
say Heidi ho, because that's Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo from South Park. He's like, Heidi ho.
How y'all doing out there?
It should be hide the hoe if you're a Republican.
With an S on the end.
There's your intro, Johnny. Hide the hoe.
No, ma'am.
We are petty already, y'all.
That's our outro, I think. Hashtag hide the hoes.
Put your Trump running shoes on and hide the hose.
Melania's coming out. That's how we're going to start today.
But supposedly Melania's going to start campaigning with him. It's like, yeah, right.
She ain't got no choice.
I wonder how much she's charging him to make an appearance.
Because she is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she better.
That woman don't do nothing for that man out of the kindness of her heart. She hates him.
I mean, if I'm married to Donald Trump, first of all, if I'm married to Donald Trump and E. Jean Carroll is coming after all his money, Stormy Daniels is coming after all his money, Letitia James, you got to pay me up front right now to stand on this stage and say words that I can barely pronounce. Yes. Come on with it. Want to vote in the House and everything.
Put on her Trump running shoes and jog out there on stage with all the other white nationalists.
Okay. Any announcements, Jen Lynn Tarrant?
I have reading appointments available in April. If anyone would like to book a reading, it's JenLynTarot.com. Or if you'd like to purchase a gift card for a reading for someone else, JenLynTarot.com. And my event in Portland, Oregon, teaching healing energy work is still open June 14th through the 16th or June 21st through the 23rd, JenLynTarot.com. That's doing healing energy work, learning to work with white light energy, how to channel it, the breathing technique for sending it, getting you sensitive to feeling inside the human body, and then working from the astral body back into the physical body.
Any announcements, Becca, Jen Lynn Tarrant? So I said last week that I was having telephone issues. So I didn't do no walk around, but here's my story. I'm going to tell the story right here. So I'm sitting here and the one phone that I have is like leaking toxic fumes out the back of it. Like when I hold it, I can feel like something in my hand and my hand starts hurting. I'm like, okay, we can't use this phone. Now it's my fault, mind you, because I'm not the most gentlest person in the world when it comes to the telephone. So that one's in the trash now. And the other one I had is from 1940. And so it won't stay charged. It goes very slow. I can't put all the apps on there, all this type of stuff. But it still at least worked. And so it stopped working like a few days ago. So if you texted me between then and there, I don't get it. I don't have it. But then I barely read texts anyway, because the phone's always on the floor in the closet or something like that. So I'm like, okay, it won't stay charged. It won't charge at all. So let me just go get a phone. So I go to the AT&T store. They said they can't sell me a phone because I don't have a contract. Well, I don't want a contract because what for? So I go to Best Buy. And Best Buy, I went in there and I stood for at least 60 hours and nobody said nothing, not hi, not get out, not do you want a phone, not what's your name, nothing. Nobody said nothing. I stood there by the phone. There was this other child. He was sitting there at the desk admiring his black ink pen collection or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he sat there forever and ever and ever. Then he got up and he walked away. And then they do what they normally do in Best Buy is they get in a huddle and then they start talking. And then they all of them, I don't care what side you get them from, they back is to you. And so it's me standing there and this other man standing here and then this other woman, she over in the computers and nobody is helping nobody. I'm like, okay, well, they don't sell stuff here. I guess it's all for display. So let me just go and leave because that's what you do when you can't get no help. Nobody. One person walked past me, mind you. Still didn't say that. So I have no phone and I sit here with no phone. And I'm okay with that.
If that were me at Best Buy, I would have walked up to that huddle and I would have been like, is anybody working here? I need help. I do not have I will give them 5 minutes. And then it's like,
Gary's woman would have walked up and said, I need to speak to a manager.
Because mind you, this is a Best Buy problem. That's not even just that location. Best Buy has that problem, period. I don't care which one you walk in. It feels like always in a huddle.
The one by my house, the charger, this thing for my laptop had broken, and I went to go get one, and I ran into the same thing. You know, this was months, like last year sometime, and I straight up went, and I was like, I need help. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and buy the wrong thing, go to my house, find out that it's wrong, come back down, get a new one. Do you see what? No, just give me what I freaking need. I even had the plug with me. Like, this is what I need. Give me this, you know, like. So
it's like, and I was in there for at least, realistically, you know, I made my hyperbole. It was at least 30 minutes.
Oh,
because I had no phone, period. So I needed to walk out with something. So I stood there long enough for somebody to say something. And it wasn't like they were busy. Again, there was 3 people in the store and like 19 workers, and they're all in their little huddle talking about whatever. I'm like, okay. I'm not flagging you down. I got the money. You come to me, but I ain't got to buy nothing from here. It's okay. I don't want a phone from Target, so I'm not going next door. So I'll just go all the way home and then just order it online and have them ship it to me. It'll be just fine. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. That man with that ink pen collection, he was bothering my nerves though, because why you sitting there? You ain't said nothing to nobody. Yeah. And there was a few people looking at phones. Don't you want to sell stuff? Ain't you on commission?
They're not on commission. They probably have sales goals that they have to hit.
Yes, you do. I worked for Best Buy for one day, but and they don't make a whole lot of money until you put all that add up stuff on there. So like they sell the phones at cost. They sell all the gaming systems at cost. They sell the video games themselves at cost. Where their money comes in at is at the register when they get you to sign up for all the insurances and the this and the that and the this and the that and all the, you know. Anyway, do I have a T-Mobile? I have an AT&T store down here. Like I have an AT&T service, but it's prepaid because it's $50 and I get unlimited everything. But if you have a contract, then you can buy something out of there. And contracts, I don't understand why you would need one nowadays, except the fact that you don't have to pay for the phone up front. They can put it on your bill in a bunch of installments and all, and that's no. I don't like owing people nothing. So
I put new stickers on my Kindle. Look.
Oh, it's cute.
Starbucks everywhere. I need to tape them down though, so that they don't like move around. But that's the only update I have. I put stickers on my.
I was just telling my niece. I was reminiscing. I said, I have never been to Starbucks so much, except when Becca and Jim came here. I said, we drank Starbucks all day. I said, I didn't get one either. I said, every time we went.
It's how I give directions. Even when people are telling me when I'm doing personal readings that they booked the seminar and they're coming, I'm like, oh, you'll love it. There's a hotel right across the street. That's in the confirmation email to book your room. And there's a Starbucks just on the corner. Yeah, I'm not going to hold a seminar where there's no Starbucks.
There's 2 down the street.
You know, would I
just put that stuff intravenously into me, and I'll be fine.
When I would go to Sedona with Linda G, we would stop at a Walmart before we went to the resort, because once you're on the resort, that's it. You can't go anywhere, and no Starbucks. So I'd go in the Walmart and I'd buy the bottled Starbucks, because we had little mini fridges in our room, and I'd buy the bottled Starbucks.
They just opened up. They just opened up a few. It's been there a while. I want to say like 8-9 months now. A Dutch Brothers
Mm-hmm. They're
across.
all over the place here.
Yeah, across the street from Starbucks, and I was like, let me go try it out. I didn't like it. I didn't. I was like, nope. Just. I know my order at Starbucks. Just leave me alone. I get the same thing every time.
You don't go. Starbucks probably shed a tear. It's like, why? What is she doing over there?
I know. The people know me by name. It's like, yeah, yeah.
You gotta get what you gotta get.
They hear me at the drive-through and they're like, "Is that Becca?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, as soon as I tell them my order, they know who I am. It's like, "Yep, that's our regular."
Have you introduced Braxy to pup cups yet?
Yes, I did. I had to go to the store yesterday, and I stopped at Starbucks, and I had her with me, and they asked if she could have one, and I had to turn it down because she makes such a mess. And she, so I have to like pull over, get out of the car, walk to the. I can't
Wash
give
the
it
car
to her in the car because I'll be wearing half of it. So I gave her whipped cream when we got home, but yeah, she loves the pup cups. And when we go to Starbucks and she doesn't get a pup cup, she's not happy about it.
You have to like go inside, get a pup cup, come out, and feed it to her on the sidewalk where she can eat all the mess she wants.
Yeah, she's a messy eater. So
I went once, Taro Newbie, to Dutch Brothers. I had a cream soda or something like that. But I'll go again myself to try something different. But
yeah, if anybody has any recommendations, let me know, because I went once and I was like,
yeah,
no.
I wasn't knocked over by the thing.
If they can't make a good caramel macchiato, they've lost me.
And I went to the Dunkin' Donuts and I got an iced coffee. Their iced coffees, even their blended ones, are so sweet that it hurts my teeth. So I'm like, okay, Starbucks it is then, like, and we don't have, what's that other store, the coffee company or something like that? Pete's Coffee. We don't have a whole bunch of those around here. They're mostly down in the city, but
I've never been there. There's one down the street from here too. Try that one.
If I can do one more announcement, Johnny, on my community tab, I shared a video. My guitar teacher and his wife went live for the first time playing guitar and flute. And if you didn't see that and you like guitar and flute, they were wonderful. They played like 4 or 5 songs, and it was their first time doing a live. So go show them some love. It's Wind and Steel channel on YouTube, and he is my guitar teacher. And she's the one who built my website for me and designed my logo for me. So I'm trying to show them some love and send some people over. Peggy Breen was watching them Saturday when they were live. She was loving them.
I set the thing to notify me, and then of course it notified me. I have no phone now. So.
I was doing a personal reading, but I got out to see the last 2 songs, and then I went back and listened to the whole concert.
Okay, I put it in the chat. There's the video.
Oh, no, shout out, hey Susie. I promised her I'd say hello. Read for her Friday.
Okay, there it is. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
I ain't ready.
Heidi hoes.
Where to start?
Trump calling Melania Mercedes.
I will chalk that up to him seeing that woman in the audience. I don't think
Mercedes Schlapp, the front wife for Matt Schlapp.
She loves her.
Grabs men by the what.
That's kind of concerning too. I mean, I understand you have to be in public that yay, my husband, but Matt Schlapp is being accused of, and yay, you're okay. I understand. I hope you got a prenup too, though. Some sort of agreement.
You just gotta love these Christian anti-gay everybody's that are always the ones that get stuck with their hand in the cookie jar. Always.
These guys are getting their hand stuck in the zipper.
Yeah.
In the Twinkie jar.
It's not in the cookie jar, it's in the zipper.
Well, speaking of Zipper, I guess we can start here. Rudy Giuliani is trying to appeal his $148 million judgment against him. Will he be successful? I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah.
Or I forgot, I guess I should say. Been so sort of engrossed in the 450 million. And then Letitia James, petty.com, she put plus 114,000 something. Like she's keeping a total apparently and tweeting it out every day.
Oh, Jera Newbie, I'll have my niece. I'll have to try that caramel macchiato with the blonde. I love the blonde coffee at Starbucks. It's a little lighter.
I spoke to the people down to the Starbucks, and apparently they can make caramel macchiatos without caffeinated coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, I never go there and think to alter things. I just think when it's on the menu, that's what it is. But she was like, oh, no, we can make it with this. We can make it with that and this. And I'm like, oh, good God, that's too many choices. Gemini brain is overload right now.
They used to laugh at me when I was working in Memphis, and we would go out to lunch and then we would hit Starbucks, and they would always, like, even if I was in the back seat, they would always pull up to whatever window I was at, and I would order for like 5 or 6 people plus several back in the office, and I would just rattle off the drinks and how they wanted them made, because they all had like, this without that and blah blah blah, and I could rattle it off. So what was our question, Johnny?
Will he be successful in his appeal?
Oh, that's right, Giuliani.
Uh-oh.
No, just stop there. That's a no. No, he's committed. It goes forward. No, it doesn't. No.
Pay up, dude. You lose. Stopping there.
I got the Ace of Swords and the Devil. This is no, sorry. There's no word of warning. 8 of Swords, you're stuck with this in particular thing. It ends in the High Priestess and the 7 of Swords. There's a scheme of some sort, so maybe he needs one of them financial monitors too, because he is trying to hide something or abscond or whatever it is he's trying to do, but he's trying to get away with something.
The judge is going to tell him, we're having to come to Jesus. Pay up. Pay up.
I wonder if there have been any investigative journalist or just journalist in general of a running list of everybody within Trump's orbit that has been fined, arrested, jailed, indicted. Like, I want a running list so I can have a count and how many, and then how many keep getting added to, because that man, there's a body count with that guy, dude. Straight up.
There was one way back. Trump was still president at the time. What's the child's name from the MSNBC? Rachel Maddow. She had a board behind her, and it had like 4 columns of just names, like Papadopoulos and all these people who went down with the ship early on. And I'm like,
but hold on, but were they all arrested, indicted, convicted?
No, these are people who are, person of interest number 1 and all these different types of things. And I'm like, oh my God.
Dear Lord.
I don't understand still. Why do you risk your whole life for this man?
I saw Bella going up the stairs with something in her mouth, like stumbling, trying to get up the stairs. So I had to go check and see what she had. She had a treat bag. She's carrying the whole treat bag upstairs. Like, I'm going to sneak upstairs and eat these up.
Okay, I want to be a teensy bit petty too right now. Donald Trump at his victory lap over Nikki Haley's thanked Don Jr. and Big Mouth. He thanked Jared Kushner and other Big Mouth and no Eric. Did he forget? Did he forget Eric on purpose, or was this just a slip of the mind? Because mind you, he's got 11 kids. Oh, he thanked Tiffany and her piece of thing too, but no Eric. He didn't thank Barron either, but still, no Eric and no Laura.
Now Bella's carrying tortilla chip bags around. I don't know. She must have knocked the garbage can over or something. Did he forget? I eat paste. I pour concrete.
I mean, he looks just like you. How you forget your own kid?
I swear to God, talk about memory loss. I'm sure he could not tell you how many grandkids he has, much less kids, how many kids he has.
He can't tell you their names.
Well, you can't tell the names if you don't even know how many you got.
He doesn't even know his own kids. You know?
I mean, you know what, too? What made me laugh even more is he's like, and I think Ivanka and I didn't see him. I didn't hear him, but he's looking down the whole time like you got to read it in order to know who they are. Should they walk around with the hello, my name is every time they come at you? I can't with him. That's their father. That's their father. Did he do it on purpose?
Sort of. His family keeps growing, so he can't keep up with everybody and everybody that's connected to the family, and he gets confused. But unless you've got some money that you can give to him, you're dead. He doesn't want to know you. So was it on purpose? Yeah.
I think he's transitioning away from the siblings. There's the transition, here's the siblings. So,
and yet Laura's who he wants to run the RNC.
So one of them's going under the bus real soon. Or maybe both, because this is technically an older pair. But these two together are siblings. So he's transitioning away from
the boys.
The children.
That they were better.
The fruit of his loins, Johnny.
The fruit of his loons. Racing thoughts. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but I mean, I don't think it was malicious. I'll say that, but I get a little bit of both. Like he has racing thoughts, and okay. For instance, I don't know what kind of dyslexia it may be, but when my mind goes too fast, when I read, I skip a bunch of words sometimes too. And so that came from years and years of skimming too. And so now my brain just does it automatically instead of slowing down to read. And so maybe he did one of those. I don't know. I'm trying to give him a little out, I guess. But I get the racing thoughts there. And
let's not forget, Eric's got to pay $4 million to court.
My other question on their family, do they resent their dad for the money that they have to now pay?
I want to know, do they have the money or do they have to ask daddy for it? Daddy bought their houses for them. Their sole income, as far as I know, with the exception of Ivanka, is Trump Ward.
Because what do they do besides pour cement?
They snort a lot of crack, and for entertainment purposes only.
He was high as two kites with no string the other day on the thing.
What you're asking? What do they do? They do nothing other than lie, cheat, and steal. That's it. That's all they do.
All
Just
time for them.
just criming. They wake up and they crime.
Dad, delay the money we owe. They're not happy. They are not happy. Please delay the money that we owe. May have to sell the car and can I get a refund on those kids? We offer them up for sale. I'll paint some gold on them, and they're not happy.
Russia would buy them. They need troops right now.
Cards are petty tonight.
I don't get that they resent him. They resent a woman. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this is Miss, I don't recall, or the Christmas lady. I don't know which one it is, but they see her as the one that got all the good stuff. There's gifts, awards, offers that were given to her, promised to her. So I don't know if this is Vanky or the sugar mama that went digging for gold and hit a sewer line. I don't know which one.
Or maybe Alina Habba, who caused them to have to pay it.
There's
I
a
think
woman.
it's the sister,
Great lawyering.
the little sibling there.
Do you see that? Potentially there's two women, but one's more prominent than the other. So I don't know if it's the sister or Melania.
I don't get resentment of him, but there is money there with the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And something about the favorite with the Page of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Sun. So it seems to be more favoring that person.
Was that Trump on that card?
No.
With the red tie? I swear it looks like him holding his hand up like, it's him! What's it say? Victory at what
Victory at what
cost?
cost? Obey and be something. Like probably thorough.
Little Trump hands.
Mm-hmm. 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 Watch TV is what it says.
That's totally Trump right there.
No thoughts. That's what that says. And obey. Victory at what cost? He's got the masses. That's
I
it.
take my whole family out with me.
I don't understand that mentality. There's a guy there.
That card makes sense though, because that's really how his lens to the world. He views the world through the lens of television.
Mhm.
Superficial, so long as it looks good on TV, who cares what the truth is?
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, don't pay attention to that virus, it's a hoax, but I created the vaccine and go ahead and eat some bleach.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
Don't take the vaccine.
life it through the lens of television. That's it.
So, you're not a Uncle Tom, a shucker jiver. You're not a coon just because you are Black and Republican. That's not the same thing. Because some people are fiscally responsible Republicans. That's the old GOP, those people. But when Donald Trump gets on stage and insults you and everybody that looks like you, and you still smile and cheese like he didn't just say that, then you are nominated for Coon of the Year.
Well, he's got tough competition with Clarence Thomas there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, did you see John Oliver offering Clarence Thomas $1 million a year plus
A $1 million RV or
a
$2 or
$2.5 million RV if he would just resign now?
like, and get the out of the Supreme Court, you know, like I saw the whole clip.
It
Not
was
just
awesome.
because I sent you that one bit, but the whole actual spiel was
The whole show was awesome.
insane.
Wonder if Clarence will take him up. I want to look. Will Clarence take the deal, John Oliver?
And there was
Good
people
question.
on the Twitter, the link that I sent you there, like, oh, that's great. You know, I hope they come arrest him because bribing a federal judge is illegal. I was like, well, then go round up Harlan Crow and all the mother suckers that have been paying him millions
Who did it
for
for
decades.
Leonard Leo and all of
For
them.
decades. And by the way, he lied and cheated on his freaking taxes because he didn't claim any of it. So there's a crime Mr. Clarence Thomas committed. But sure, tell me John Oliver should go to jail.
It was at the end of his Last Week Tonight that aired Sunday night on HBO. If you don't have HBO, they load it like 4 days later on YouTube. So if you go to the Last Week Tonight channel, you can watch the video. It's
I also posted it on my community page. If people haven't seen it, go to my community page. There's a Twitter link. Just click on that and that'll take you to the video.
So I want to know, what is Rick Scott's
he doesn't accept the offer I get.
angle? What does he want out of this? I can't say you're being embarrassed and humiliated because you need to be the one to feel that. I can't be embarrassed for you.
At this point, I cannot wrap my brain around how any Black person, any Hispanic person, and I say that as a Cuban American, can support the Republican Party at this point. They are openly hostile to you. Openly hostile to you. The tax cuts are not coming to you. You're not making bazillions of dollars. They're going to the corporate people and their super high dollar donors. You're just gum on the bottom of their shoe. I do not understand it. I don't understand, especially as a Cuban American, when they're like, oh, Castro this and Castro that and socialist this and socialist that and communist. And it's like, yeah, but those are fascist. They're literally having conversations about doing away with the Constitution. But hey, let's jump on board because it's just going to be kumbaya. Read a history book, people. Read a history book, please.
Oh, but they have trouble doing that down in Florida because, book bans.
They're all banned. They're all banned for their revisionist history. The Blacks had it great, and they're so thankful because they were taught job skills. They were enslaved and murdered and, R-worded and everything else. No, it was such a privilege to be a slave.
Johnny meant Tim Scott. I forgot who you said, Johnny.
Yeah, as long as y'all know who I mean. I got him in my head, so we don't. I don't
what
need
child he's talking about.
45 is not Donald Trump's real name. As long as Spirit knows who you talked about, you'll be all right. For those learning.
How did you word the question?
What is his angle? What does he hope to gain from all of this?
Money, endorsements, actions, bullying his opponents, riches and wealth. But he gets burdened by Trump. It's like, whenever he tries to return running for something, he's stabbed in the back. Not sure, but he may end up with some kind of legal issue too. That'll make him anxious. Like campaign finance or something that he ends up. His angle, money, endorsements, options, visions of grandeur with that 8 of Cups. Look at me, I'm hot shit. Him and his invisible girlfriend, fiance, excuse me.
You mean the girlfriend that he rented who happened to be a white girl?
His fiance, they're engaged,
Mm-hmm. Someone that nobody had ever heard of before. Oops, here she is. Look.
Idaho. Idaho.
Idaho.
Theme of the night.
What does he want? I get that it's all just self-serving. He's looking to elevate and grow his celebrity to be a little bit more, not public, but a little bit more famous, because he's desiring a lot of opportunities for his own growth. But it's all self-serving. He's manipulating opportunities. And here's the let me see. He's hoping for a lot of fame and celebrity to grow. That's what I get. I get no money cards at all with him. But like Johnny said, be careful about getting in the spotlight, because all the stuff in your closet about to come out. So unless your stuff is squeaky, squeaky clean, careful what you wish for.
He wants to be that guy, the black in the Republican Party that they can all go to say, oh, look, we have a Negro on our side too.
The only total black man that's Republican in the Senate. The other guy in the House is a convicted felon, by the way, for financial crimes. That Byron Donalds or whatever. So
he's a piece of work too.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the Republican Party, the 10 of Pentacle. There is the 3 of Cups. So he wants to be in that, the tight-knit group. He doesn't want to be one of the blacks. He wants to be the black. That's in there. The Page of Wands, the person who goes out and speaks on behalf as well. He wants to be, so not the Speaker of the House necessarily, but he may have an aspiration to do such a thing. But he wants to be a speaker. So he wants to be out there in the public, in the in the public eye. There's the Sun. He wants to be seen. Listen, dude, Donald Trump wanted the same thing. How's that working out for him? Like, let's learn from examples. This is how we learn. Okay, speaking of the other one.
Speaking of learning from example, did you see the video? I think it was on the Young Turks last week. A couple in Canada who have 8 children, very, Christian right, anti-gay, just like can't stand seeing the LGBTQ rainbow flag. Oh, it's like they worship it here, it's hanging everywhere. Decided to move to Russia, because Putin is very anti-gay. So they moved to Russia, and they cut them off from their money from selling their farm in Canada. They cut them off from their bank account and are investigating them and where their money came from. It's like, dude, you ran from the gays to Putin, and now you may end up in a gulag, and nobody's going to come get your ass out.
No, but I'm sure if you pray to Jesus hard enough with your bigotry and your hatred, he'll come right in and swoop up and save you.
People on his YouTube channel send him money to help him move his 8 kids and everything. And it's like, yeah, how's that working for you now?
Because you know who created the rainbow first.
How long before the Christian right and these crazies start trying to ban rainbows? Not rainbow stickers and rainbow flags, like actual natural phenomena rainbows.
No more rainbows.
They already do several stores, like in children's clothing, rainbows are very common, and unicorns and all that kind of stuff. And they pitch a fit if they see a rainbow on a kid's t-shirt. It's crazy.
I've seen it on Twitter and stuff where it's like they're just going around looking for something to be angry about.
You don't be like if kids. I went in
you
and I
have kids. What the hell are you doing in the kids section? In the kids section in Target, losing your mind for outrage and get clicks and likes on Twitter and Instagram. Who gives a
they're turning the American flag into a fascist symbol. Every time I see it in stores, I'm like, well, they're catering to MAGA.
But for all these people that are so hardcore, Christian right, they should take the example of those people in Canada. Pack your bags and go.
Go over to Russia.
Send us a postcard and let us know how glorious it is over there in a world without blacks and
when
a world
you can't
without
access your money to feed 8 kids.
Please. I will personally go buy you a one-way ticket.
First class. I'll buy you one first class.
I'm buying you shite. Maybe
Start a
I'll buy you
GoFundMe.
put between pieces of bread and give it to you. But speaking of brains, Ben Carson, the surgeon, Ben Carson, the African American surgeon, the one who successfully he is being rumored, spoken of in the ether, to be in the front running to be the VP.
Him and Tim Scott.
Oh, wait a minute.
Head to
Ben
head.
Carson, the surgeon, the sleepy surgeon that
Sleepy Ben Carson.
from long ago from the okay,
From
now
the housing.
Ben Carson, who I just remembered. Okay. It's like,
One of
how
his
is that
cabinet
guy a
members.
neurosurgeon? I wouldn't let him near my brain with a freaking 50-foot pole. Like,
I
Ben
wouldn't let
Carson.
it near my brain with a stick of chewing gum.
Now, that's the thing. He's very successful as a brain surgeon. He just doesn't have one himself. Well, he has his is just tuned to a different frequency to where he thinks, because he's campaigning a little bit for Donald Trump right now. And he is being one of the names thrown into the hat to be VP. So what are his actual chances? Because let's keep in mind, of the people who are voting for Donald Trump, would you vote for him and the Negro at the same time? You won't vote for the brown woman, but you'll vote for him. But Ben Carson is that kind, as I said, to conditional racism, to where I don't really care for dark people, but if they think just like me, then I can be tolerated. I can't. What are his chances? I mean, that's okay. All black people do not have to think the same. They ain't all got to be Democrats. They can be Republicans, but this is different. Donald Trump is not even a Republican. Donald Trump is a whole different type of thing.
At this point, and I say this as a Hispanic woman, the only reason a person of color, whether it's Hispanic, Asian, black, purple, green, yellow, blue, orange, okay, the only reason to be a Republican is if it helps your pockets.
Yes, it's
because as a minority, they are openly hostile towards your demographic. So unless you're at the top level of socioeconomic status.
The rappers, they said they supported him because he was going to lower their taxes.
Okay. But the rest of everybody, the people like you and me and everybody else in the chat, why? Your taxes ain't going down. Your health care is going to go away. They're going to take away your Social Security. You know, they're going to bust your kids off, probably if they had it their way, back to segregation so you guys can be separate from the whites, because we want to roll back the clock to the 1950s where blacks had no rights and neither did women. They're openly telling you. So at this point, I don't understand how a regular person can continue to support that group, because there's nothing in it for you at all.
And what's crazy too is they don't see it because, again, you know, the filter of racism, mental illness at that. Poor white people are in the same exact boat.
Yes.
As black people and anybody else. I mean, you think the white privilege would save you, but it doesn't.
No.
You don't do anything for those in charge because you don't make campaign contributions. All that you really do is vote. And that's more powerful than mostly anything, because they can put a shirt and a hat on you and put you in the voting booth. That's all you can do for them. They don't care nothing about you outside of that.
I get a no on Carson. He's using him to reach people's emotions and talk at the rallies for the loser Trump. But hell no, no dark man in the White House again after Obama. Hell no. He was like, yes, no.
So what you're saying is he's pandering to the black people because the shoes and the music ain't cutting it. No. No. It's going to be a white person.
Lily White.
Lily White, pure, clean, white. Okay. That's
If you get one, don't threaten to kill this one this time. How about that? you had a really white one last time.
He had the whitest one he could find. What happened? He got a fly on his head.
My prince was so white, his hair blended in with his face. That's how white he
You
was.
can look white all you want. You can stink and get a fly on your head.
Because that's what dog poop looks like when it turns white. Like flies are attracted to shite. Leave them alone. The Ten of Cups and the Moon. No, this is a plot to appeal to the masses of some sort. The Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords. He's going nowhere. This is just for publicity.
But Johnny, this is what I don't understand. He has been openly sowing discontent and being openly racist. This is a guy who gave neo-Nazis the green light to go come out of the woodwork and parade all over our streets, all over the United States. So you've been playing footsies with neo-Nazis and Ku Klux Klan and every other racist under the sun, and now you're going to roll out a black guy. Look, vote for me. You're either going to piss off the white neo-Nazis because they're not going to be on board with you having a black man as a VP, or you isolate the black votes because the shoes and the sneakers aren't. You can't have it both ways. You've spent too much time fostering hatred and racism to all of us
when you do that.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you're going to bring out a black guy. Oh, look, here's my VP. Get the F out of here, man.
One more from Tales of the Dark Side. The Florida Surgeon General.
So the other, what do you call him? Coon?
The black dude down there too. DeSantis' right-hand man. He said that your unvaccinated kids are okay to return to normal life. They do not have to be quarantined. Right now, Florida is having an issue with measles.
Oh. Are they praying it away? Did it work? Did Jesus come and save them?
Thoughts and prayers.
Did Jesus come and save them?
It solves everything except everything. Is this going to cause a crisis?
They say you only need 93% of the population vaccinated to contain measles, and Florida ain't at 93%.
Florida's different, period.
I mean, we're talking about a state that looks like a limp penis. Okay, like what? The whole state looks like it could use some Viagra, and you wonder
to cut it off, let it float away.
And this is coming from a person that was born and raised in Florida, so I'm not picking on Floridians because I'm one of them.
It's going to look like a limp mushroom soon.
Let's let it float away. Right here,
So
Europe, you can have this.
What was the question? Is it gonna?
Well, it calls a crisis. Now, the reason I want crisis to be the focal point because it could cause some outbreaks here and there. But I mean, as in like schools are shutting down and everybody's got to stay home and this and this and this. Like, is it going to cause a crisis?
Oh yeah.
And you have a lot of tourists that go there for spring break.
Yes.
The public suffers big time.
Talk about needing to secure the border. We need to secure the border between Georgia and Florida.
Put a fence around Florida.
Just wall all of the red states off, really. Let the idiots over there pray to Jesus and then come wondering why they're all dying of diseases that were eradicated decades ago.
Yep. Work will get burdened because people are out sick. Put up a wall.
Well, I mean, what else do they have? The insurance companies are going insane. People can't sell their houses. The economy in Florida is crap. Now you're going to have a public issue with health because, who needs vaccinations? Nobody. Apparently, you can just pray it away.
Great for kids. Right? Never mind that, like, I would want a law in place that says if your kid's going to public school, they've had vaccines, They've been vaccinated. I wouldn't want my kids going
It's
and
just
being around unvaccinated kids.
they are so anti-science at this point that it's like they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. And this is a guy that's a doctor. A doctor. My question is, where's the Association of Medicine coming in going, pull this guy's freaking license to practice? This, I don't, was it him or was it the other lady that was talking about demon sperm?
That was a different lady, but wasn't she connected to DeSantis though?
Yeah. So it's like, what the hell? I don't want these people in charge of public health when they don't even believe in what they went to school, or they do. They're just playing politics and putting all of everybody in danger to score political points.
Well, they can always freeze those kids because they're so pro-life, like Alabama. Freeze those kids for a while until you come up with a cure for measles.
There is two. The Queen of Swords is advice. The Seven of Cups is confusion. There may also be something around making numbers smaller than they are, or confusing information, basically. There's the World and the Four of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So your clarity is something that they're trying to, like they did with COVID.
Like they did with
COVID. It's only 9 people. I mean, it's not a big deal. But there's the Ten of Swords and the Two of Swords. This is actually quite devastating. There are decisions that need to be made. However, the bad part is the decisions that need to be made by the people in charge right now. And we see who they are. There's your kids with the Six of Cups, and it ends in the Five of Cups. So there will be loss and regrets after this. It's not the complete end of the world, but there again, you should not have regrets in this situation because you already know what to do ahead of time.
There will be no herd immunity.
You can't have herd immunity if the herd is not freaking vaccinated. Like, I mean, just, oh my God, it's simple. It's simple. I just don't understand kind of like what's going on between this guy. Same thing with Mike Flynn. The organizations that oversee all this stuff, like the American Medical Association or whatever it is, and then the Pentagon. Why are these people still allowed to do what they're doing? They're putting people's lives at risk.
Well, and you got people like Tuberville, from Alabama, where they, said no, we got to freeze the embryos. That's pro-life and everything. So they stopped IVF treatments, and Tuberville's like, oh, I agree with that. They shouldn't be doing the IVF. We need to have as many children as we can. It's like, dude, you don't even understand what IVF is. You got idiots that don't even understand what like he's didn't even understand the question.
No, he doesn't know what an embryo is.
No,
he doesn't know what an embryo is. He doesn't know what IVF is. He's like, we need to have as many children as possible.
And half of these morons, these pro-life morons, don't have a basic understanding of how female anatomy works and how pregnancies work.
But I support this ruling, to stop messing with our embryos and stuff. It's like,
meanwhile, was it Newsom that said you give more rights to the rapist than you do to the woman who actually wants to have
yes. Let the rapist
you can't abort the rapist baby, but you also can't go have a baby if you want to and having trouble doing it.
Mm-hmm. But this is all part of God's plan, according to them. It's all God's plan.
Stupid.
I don't know what part of the Bible they're reading, but if your God is all about cruelty,
then your God's an idiot, and take him with you.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Because
from that same book, Jesus was kind of IVF himself, wasn't he?
Immaculate conception.
Anyway, okay, switching gears here. Will there be a Russia connection in the information that was discovered and put out and debunked about Hunter Biden? That is the rumor now, is that they were using Russian propaganda. I won't say intel because it wasn't true. Propaganda. And that's where they got it from. That's just rumored for now, but will there be some established fact that this is indeed a Russian campaign?
Smirnoff supposedly was talking to Russian intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like an oxymoron, Russian intelligence, to get the information.
I get a yes. I get a team of people, probably hackers online. But it's like a team, like a troll team online that just spreads misinformation that is very dangerous. And there's one person in particular that is a target. But it spreads online and it's very vast, but it comes from a team of thieves, corrupt people that are dangerous. So I would say yes, that there will be some hardcore investigative evidence that, oh, by the way, this was part of a Russian intelligence think tank of some sort, project get the Republicans to do our bidding, you know.
Mission.
Mm-hmm.
There's treachery here. There's a whole network overseas that this guy was working with and trying to stir up dissatisfaction here in the U.S. There is an investigator that has everything he needs. It'll be brought up, and they've secured it. It'll be brought up in court.
There is a person here. The damage has been done for whatever it is that they were trying to do with the tower. There's some exposure here by means of force, but this person has died. This is not Navalny. This is somebody on the outside. 10 of Cups. They were part of some sort of group or some. It wasn't in opposition necessarily to Vladimir necessarily, but they released some information here. But they were pressured and eliminated, if you will, too. It looked like an accident of some sort, because this is card of accidents. That's my card of death. This has happened already, though. This is not happening. This has happened already. But this person has already released something. And so there's information that will be exposed to the audience there. So you'll hear about this one.
Yeah, we have the 27 Club for celebrities and singers that died at the age of 27. You know, there's a whole bunch of them, Jimi Hendrix and on and on. Amy Winehouse, all of them, 27 years old. Putin's got the window club. There's no age limit on it, but it just conveniently shoved out a window. Can we look at Smirnoff? That the judge in California is trying to get him to report by 9 a.m. tomorrow to a California jail. Will he get locked up because the magistrate in Nevada released him with an ankle bracelet? Like that's going to stop him from fleeing the country.
If you want to be electrocuted, it will. So will he report? Is that what we're asking?
Yeah. Will he report, and will the judge lock him up? Because this judge in California is being quite vocal about the magistrate didn't know what the hell he was doing. There was enough evidence to show he was a flight risk and couldn't be trusted, because he even lied about. He said he only had $2,000 in cash. He had $8 million, access to $8 million. Big difference. You know, unless you are appraising profits or assets like Trump does.
They rearrested him.
I don't think he'd been released yet because the decision was just made like Friday to let him out on an ankle bracelet. So I don't think he's officially out yet, but he told the marshals, the federal marshals, this is the order. You bring him from Nevada here by 9 a.m. in the morning, and we will re-deal with this. Ooh, victory card on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Relocation.
Yep. Bad news. You're changing where you're at.
Is this set to take a long time? Not his
Well,
relocation, but his whole case.
His trial may take a while, but the judge in California wants to lock him up until the trial, which he probably should do. So, yeah, I get they move him. Appearing in front of another court.
He was let out and then rearrested on Saturday by the marshals. Well, good.
So he put the ankle bracelet on him and then rearrested him before he left Nevada.
I don't even know who that is. Okay.
So is Smirnoff in danger from, how Russia likes to go after people that turn on them, in foreign countries and poison them or shoot them or whatever. They just had a guy they killed in Spain that had turned on them. Is Smirnoff in danger?
Well, he'll be in custody, so he'll have like a slip and fall type of situation.
Is he in danger? Well, and they have to take him back and forth, from jail to court when he does appear.
They'll give him a vest. Is he in danger? Well, this card just wants to stay out all day, don't it? Is he married and got children and all that stuff? Because I get 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. There's a family aspect to this. I get 10 of Swords too. So I got all these 10.
Like
I got another 10. There's the Wheel of Fortune too. So, and then there's the 8 of Pentacles. There is something fated going on here. This is a matter of time. I think the problem would come in with routine. And so if you are in the same spot at the same time, every single time, that's going to be a bad thing. You have to change this up. In the world of retail, we didn't go to the bank every day for the same exact reason. So it's like you have to leave out this door and go at that time, and then code words and all this type of stuff. So that's an issue, but I would be more concerned with those he knows. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. See, yeah.
There's something here about a sick woman or a depressed woman that's very important. So not him so much as this person. So I don't know if he's got a wife, a girlfriend, a kid, a daughter, something.
There's a woman, and that's my Mother Russia card. Depending on what he says, what evidence he gives, yep, he's in danger. They would probably take her out. So he's aware of that. It's kind of like
there you go. Thank you, Johnny. Significant other Las Vegas resident, Deanna. Yeah, you in danger, girl. You in danger.
Navalny just was killed last week, and now they're reinvestigating his brother Oleg. So they're going after Navalny's family. Yulia, his wife, said that she's going to continue the work of Navalny, and Twitter took her new account down, or X, I should say.
Well,
Elon, you should say.
Elon, but is not supporting Yulia.
But I think I saw somewhere that after a lot of outrage, he put her back on. Yeah. At this point, Musk is a national security risk.
Because if you did it in the first place, it shouldn't have been done in the first place. Everybody else did. You let Alex Jones back on. Like Liam Neeson they had a whole campaign to get him back on. He said he's not coming back. But
Mr. Free Speech sure does like to censor stuff,
I
doesn't
mean,
The families of Sandy Hook that won their case against Alex Jones voted unanimously to go after his properties. Can we look and see if they'll get them? If they'll get all his properties and force him to liquidate? He's in the same boat as Giuliani and soon to be Trump. Because some of those family members, because of things Alex Jones has said and sick people on them, have had to move several times.
he's saying that too. Nobel Peace Prize. Sure.
But they get his properties and liquidate him. He's one of the ugliest souls. Not to be judgmental, but I'm going to be judgmental on Alex Jones. That's a piece of trash.
It's times like this where I really wish I was Satan. I really do, because I would have so much fun with these a-holes. I really would. I have all sorts of creative ways to just torture them until the end of time. Like, because that's just a whole nother level of disgusting. To go after the victims, to make $1, that is beyond gross. Beyond
all his properties. He's going to become a pauper. I'm getting. He's going to have to move. Sorry, for sale sign out front.
Not only liquidate, shut him down, but also go after, if he's doing a podcast or something where he's talking, they're going to go after that too. So
he's going to lose.
The Moon and the Nine of Swords. These are cards of nightmares when we get them together like that. That's already a nightmare. Then the Moon is illusions of the mind. He's going through some things.
Good.
Hopefully he's being haunted, because again, I ain't Mother Teresa either. So hopefully he's being haunted. But there's something there that his mind is quite unstable, but it's not unstable because of something he's doing. It's unstable because of something going on in here. So it's not like he's taken something, there's something else different there. The Knight of Swords and the Magician. There is going to be something here too around chaos and manipulation. So there may be some defamations coming from somewhere too, because why not? The rest of you are Fox News and all the rest of you. But there's the Strength and the Ace of Pentacles. So yes, they are coming after the money and this lovely little card. The Five of Swords. So there will be
brutal victory.
There will be
brutal victory.
I want to know.
That's a wicked deck.
Alex Jones was involved with the January 6th insurrection, was he not?
Yes.
So wouldn't it just be poetic justice that these families take him to the freaking cleaners and get the nasty, dirty shirt off his back? On top of that, he gets sent to prison. That would just be, I would be a happy person. I would be a very happy
We need you, Alex Jones, to go and roommate with Rush Limbaugh.
I might have to get a new job as like a prison guard.
Like people, I don't believe in hell or the devil, but these are the moments for people like him. I wish I did, because there's got to be something worse on the other side than life review.
I will take the job. I want the job. Please give me the job, because there's a lot of people like him out there that I would just be more than happy.
I'm very creative. I could come up with really creative ways to torture them in prison. Aries does have a dark side.
Speaking of a person who, should I say that on YouTube? Yeah, this is the demonetized version of live streams tonight, because I have something to play at the end of this, which may get us all kicked off. So anyway. So speaking of people who need to be tortured, Vladimir Putin, what I want to know is, what will the effects of Navalny's death be for Vladimir Putin? Because even the White House is saying he was responsible. So what are the effects? They've been sanctioned. 600 different sanctions against Russia right now. So what will the
Biden
effect?
just met with Yulia last week.
And it's aimed at, I believe he said, the stuff that they need for the military, like steel and aluminum and all that type of stuff. So
Trump's at CPAC and Biden's meeting with Yulia. There you go. Tells you all you need to know. They have their elections coming up in March. Like anybody's going to run against him. Not that it would matter if somebody
he
did.
had a opponent and they disqualified him. The reading came out today, I think it did. I forget what the man's name is. I couldn't pronounce it anyway. It's Boris something, I think. He had an opponent. He has a female opponent too. I don't know what happened there either.
Yeah, did you see what was going on in CPAC? They had all the dictators from South America because, hey, we love dictators in the Republican Party. They're not even hiding it anymore at all.
My Putin card. He will get reelected. Victory on that next month. But he's getting a lot of judgment and bad news here. People talking about what's going on. So, yeah. Of course, he's not going to hear it directly, but out in the streets, there's a lot of people. That's a big yes card that he may get burdened, taken out, so to speak, bullied out, separated from his position. Give him a little time, give him a little dose of something. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
I got the Tower, the Clouds, the Storks, Dog, and Bouquet. This is death. These two together are death because this has to do with longevity. This is uncertainty and bad. So death. The death of Navalny leads to a change. I wouldn't say civil unrest or an uprising, but there's something there that increases with not his regime, but democratic regimes, where it's almost like there's almost like an urgency for people to
come together,
allies, increase allies here. Okay. His regime and him continue to increase their isolation. They get more and more and more and more and more isolated. The friendships they're not certain. They're bad. There's
don't know who to trust now.
Maybe 6 that side with Putin, and I'm only saying that because of the clouds. This is the king of clubs, so there might be one prominent one, maybe China. But there's a few others, maybe 6 in total, that are allies to that regime. But it's within his own regime, you get more increased bootlicking and loyalty. But outside of that, it's isolationist. And there's only a very small group that he can rely on. Does that make sense? So make of that what you will.
I get a lot more negative press coming out with the Page of Swords. There's also, I get an uprising. There's, I don't know if it's Russia or Russian citizens necessarily, because that's dangerous for them.
There's a lot going on at Russian embassies in other countries protesting.
It's youthful though. It's more of a youthful action that's been taken here. There's also the concept of money and payouts. That's already happened with the 600 sanctions. But there will be some regrets because of the losses, and these losses will be felt. They were trying to, before Navalny's death, this was reported somewhere, I forget where, it was rumored, mind you, that Vladimir was trying to skate around to get around the sanctions that he knew were coming. And he was trying to put certain things in place to make sure they'd be fine, but it didn't work apparently. So there will be a lot of regrets felt, but it's not emotionally based. It's just a card of regrets. But there's a lot of uprising, a lot more negative press, negative news. But
the thing with sanctions, though, it just hurts the common folk. It doesn't.
These were supposed to be aimed at his military, is just what I read anyway. The last ones, yes, those hurt the actual Russian people who ain't got nothing to do.
And how are you going to uprise when you have no weapons or anything? That's the first thing dictatorships do, is take away all your weapons and stuff, so that good luck having a social uprising. And I guess that's what these MAGA
marching so his military can mow them down in the street.
Yeah, that's what these MAGA idiots forget. They want a dictatorship, and you think you're going to be able to keep your guns? These people are foolish. They're just foolish.
Well, speaking of foolish, Laura Trump said that the RNC needs to raise $500 million. $500 million. Like,
because Trump can't sell enough tennis shoes.
There's a couple of Republicans right now, I forget their names because who cares really, but they are trying to put together a thing that says we cannot align with Donald Trump until he's the nominee. So we cannot keep paying all his everything and playing all his anything. We have to have him be the nominee first, at least. And they're putting that motion forward, whether it's successful or not, who really knows. But
there's somebody down in Mississippi that put forward to not pay any of his legal bills before Laura comes in heading the RNC to stop them from draining the RNC funding, because they're saying 100% of it's going to Donald Trump.
Please, by all means, give him the keys to the kingdom, because he didn't ruin you enough, apparently.
They only had $8 million. That's how you owe almost $500 million. So you take the $8 million the RNC has, you're still in the hole, dude.
But for people who are looking to hide money, maybe, like the Koch brothers always did, will they get anywhere close to raising $500 million? Because mind you, it is for the sake of Donald Trump. So.
But they're saying, some of the legal people are saying the only way he's probably going to be able to raise it is to get a bond, and he's going to have a really hard time with his credit record of getting a bond. Will he come even close to raising it? He's broke. He's never been a billionaire. Still.
And that's the karma is something else. Y'all be careful out there. She's got a very long memory and she knows where you live, okay? The thing he covets the most, the thing he cherishes the most is his money. And that is the thing that is just flying away from him as fast as he can hold it.
Let me attack Judge Ngoran and his clerk and cause death threats against him and everything else. And, I need more than 30 days. Ngoran must have laughed his ass off at that.
This could have all been prevented had he just shut his mouth and acted like a regular human being. This is all self-inflicted. All self-inflicted. Thinking he can go in there and bully a judge? Really? And he wasn't warned once, not twice, not 3 times. I think he was warned like 5 or 6 times. And then you're going to cry when you get hit with $500 million in fines?
A judge should not have to put a gag order on anybody. Like, your lawyer should be the one you're listening to, because that's the one you hired. This person's not doing this for free. If your lawyer came to you and said, "Hush, child," you should have hushed. But
look at his lawyers. Alina Habba was there to be running the circus.
Bless her heart.
I mean, she was the clown in chief during that whole situation. Because remember, she doesn't have to be smart, just pretty.
Thank you, Patty.
I get a no. I get that the money is going to go missing, so it's just going to be transferred to the people that they want. So instead of the money going to the RNC, it'll go directly to candidates, perhaps. Because see, look, it's going to get stolen. It's going to go missing, transferred to what they want, what they desire there. So they're not going to. It's not going to go to the RNC.
Yeah. Trump's out in the cold from the money. He doesn't have it. The only thing I'm getting is if some billionaire or some wealthy person like Elon Musk, who was seen at Mar-a-Lago last week, by the way, or 2 weeks ago, is if some billionaire offers him up money, but I don't think it's enough because I still get they sell properties. They take an action against him.
But Jenny, I forget who I saw, if it was Andrew Weissman or Neil Katyal or both of them on a show somewhere. They were saying that the way that this is written, an outside entity cannot pay these fines. It has to come from him. So he can't use it from a PAC. He can't do a fundraiser. He can't get it from his campaign. He can't get it from the RNC. He can't even do it from a GoFundMe. It has to come from him.
Or from a bond company. So
the RNC is going to be a bond company now?
No. So hypothetically, a billionaire like Elon Musk could give money to a bond company to offer a bond to Trump. It's kind of laundering money, but at the same time, it's coming from a bond company.
I get, will they get anywhere close? No. The 8 of Cups, but I don't really think that, let's say even if they got $500 million, it doesn't matter. They're not trying to help the RNC. They're trying to help BGT or whatever his name is. So it goes nowhere. No, but this is more of a partnership, an alliance type thing. The 3 of Pentacles. They just want to have an audience with the king type thing. Like I said the other day, when AT&T gave Michael Cohen money so that Michael Cohen could go to Donald Trump and say, hey, it was $30,000, and say, hey, we want an audience with Donald Trump. They got it, I guess. But no, he's not going to get $500 million from the RNC.
It looks like a gallows.
It is.
I don't understand it. Like, this guy has 91 felony charges. 91 and these people
and growing, because now they're investigating his super PAC in Wisconsin for violating campaign stuff.
So there's this whole situation. These people aren't stupid. They know how the court systems work. They know that he was found guilty by a jury of his peers based on evidence. You're going to let this criminal, you're going to give him the keys to the ATM machine?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by all means, please go ahead. You're never going to win an election for the next 30 freaking decades, but
the Mississippi Attorney General is suing the state auditor over who can collect interest from Brett Favre's repayments, because he has not repaid on the money, mind you, that he stole. I'm going to call it stole from the state of Mississippi welfare fund.
How is he not being investigated and going to prison?
The incident is being investigated, but like you said, why is he not in jail?
Why is he not? Because he's a former football player. He stole money from the poorest of the poor.
And mind you, the governor was slightly investigated because to me, if you ask me, he's in on it too.
Oh yeah, they all. And here's the thing I don't understand. And somebody please explain it to me like I'm stupid. All these Republicans are so against social programs, yet that is the first thing they steal from.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
They shut them down. Where are they going to steal from?
Where are you going to steal from when you get rid of the public programs? Make it make sense.
I mean, entitlement programs, no welfare. Meanwhile, you know what? Give me some of that welfare money.
I just built a tennis racket for my daughter.
Oh my God. Because he wanted money for his speaking engagements. Like, who wants to go hear the Brett Favre speech? Like, what the hell's he got to talk about that I got to go pay him to hear?
And that's the thing with his name and his celebrity. He didn't have to steal it. He could have held a gala. He could have held a freaking auction and raised the money that way.
Yeah.
He rubs elbows with the pretty high up, uppity up in society. He could have gotten that money anywhere. Why did you think that it would be okay to steal it from the poorest of the poor in the poorest state in the entire union, Mississippi?
The poorest.
The poorest. That's
Somebody
beyond
went along with it, right?
beyond.
Somebody let him.
Yeah.
So the state auditor is going after the money. The state attorney general says that he's overstepping his bounds and that's not for him to do. And so she's suing him because he is overstepping his bounds. Now, he said he's fighting a lawsuit, so apparently they're not in agreement. And if because my approach to this was, if there's something in writing that says the attorney general collects the interest, then fine. The rules are the rules. Let her do it, and you are overstepping your bound. But apparently that's not the case if he's fighting the lawsuit. So the state auditor is like, I'm going after Brett Favre for interest. She's saying, I'm suing you to stop that. So what I want to know is this a personal grudge? Is she trying to protect Brett Favre, or is she really saying that he's overstepping his bounds? To give her the benefit of the doubt. Is she really saying he's overstepping the bounds, or is she trying to protect Brett Favre?
BAG, is she?
The attorney general of this poorest state in the union, are you protecting the welfare defrauder? If he would have been a black woman named Shaquisha, this whole thing would have been done in 10 minutes. But
Well,
no.
that just fell out. She is definitely trying to protect him. That's a yes for me. Turn it back.
Letting be some white guy well connected from a whole nother state stealing money from Mississippi. Mind you, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, she's trying to keep him away from trouble and blocking. She's trying to block it from progressing because it's going to be a mountain of trouble here. So, because yes, the wealthy and the privileged are the ones that need protection from stealing from the poor.
There was a man, ironically named the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He was one of the ones too. He was a wrestler. And then his son, also a wrestler. They were stealing too.
And here's the thing. The only reason that Mississippi is red is because it's gerrymandered beyond gerrymandered. And I know Mark Elias, they just did that lawsuit last year. And I think it went through. So Mississippi should have a cleaner map coming up for these next elections.
It'll still be real.
You know,
but live down there. Those people are, you know what? I don't have anything nice to say about Mississippi.
But the thing with that lawsuit is, well, what happens when everything, the Republicans, all the mechanisms that they put in place to keep people from voting? Well, guess what? We're going to change all the voting places. Actually, we're going to close them all down and only have one, and it's only open from 9 to 10. And there's going to be a line 20 miles long. You know, do you see what I'm saying? So they enact all sorts of things to suppress the vote in Mississippi. So even though Mark Elias won that lawsuit, I'm curious to see what's going to happen during the elections, because they will figure out another way to get around and cheat. Because that's what they do.
The place
Wisconsin's
that I
getting
was
their
supposed to vote
gerrymandered
in
maps.
when I lived there was not the place I could vote in. That was closer to my house. I had to go to a one that was further away for whatever reason. Because you got to go to the one that's listed on the thing. And I'm like, then don't open up one across the street from my house. Like, what the hell's going on?
What state was it? Did it just happen where Mark Elias filed the lawsuit? They had to redraw the districts. The Supreme Court said redraw the districts, and they were like, yeah, go F yourselves. We're not redoing it. So they had to get a special master to come in and oversee and redraw the districts. But then what they did was they finagled all the other stuff and shut down a bunch of voting places, so people couldn't even get out to vote, even though they redid the districts. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like they will continue until they are stopped, really, you know.
I get the Four of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So yes, she is trying to stall and stop. The Five of Wands and the Knight of Wands, there's your progression and the conflict for progression. And then the Ten of Wands, burden.
Ew.
And then the Three of Swords, which is betrayal. So yes, she is trying to protect the star. Trying to protect Brett Favre. Okay, lady.
What a piece of crap. The NFL should step in and strip him of everything.
Thank you, Lisa.
They should strip him of everything. But, you know, that's a good old boys club. So nothing's going to happen to Brett Favre.
He should stay off the internet with his nude pictures. That's what he should do. I ain't got nothing else to say about that. There is Donald Trump said, I want to know if there's some trouble brewing. He said I'm saying if. He said when. I'm saying if. I'm saying actually not. But anyway, if he was reelected, he does not want to work with Mitch McConnell. Will he have, or is he doing currently, some sort of effort to oust Mitch McConnell? Because remember, Josh Hawley and all of them want him gone too. And those seem to be the running men, pun intended, for Donald Trump. So is there now an effort to unseat Mitch McConnell?
All he's got to do is put a little pebble out there for him to trip on. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Somebody get Mitch McConnell life alert. He may need
He may need it.
He's falling. He can't get up. He needs his little button charm.
Life alert and wife alert, because his wife doesn't pay attention to
She
it.
didn't do nothing.
Down there on the floor again.
Just looked at him and looked away.
I get a yes. He wants a person that is going to follow guidance and be committed to him changing and overturning things. So I get a yes. But it's not for the goodness of the party. It's so that they can help him overturn elections and install himself king, you know, so Lindsey Graham can go change his diapers.
Who got booed in South Carolina in Donald Trump's little speech?
Oh, did he really?
He did.
Must have been wonderful.
They booed him.
I get yes, and he wants somebody that's like naive and younger and unbalanced and a fighter. So, you know, like an MTG loudmouth.
Devil and Ace of Cups. Yes, he wants some new whipping post, some go along to get along type person. Star in the Wheel of Fortune. It's planned out too, mind you. They have a plan for this. Listen, better people than you have tried to kill that man. It ain't happened yet. So,
and this is what another thing I don't understand, Johnny. Like you were saying, there is a whole line of lemmings that jumped off that cliff, and y'all still lining up. You must be in a hurry to get indicted, convicted, and going to prison. I mean, and these are people that have law degrees that went to prestige freaking universities, that they're privileged, should know better. They're not like a rambling idiot like Trump. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Corliss.
Thank you, Corliss. So, okay, again, I'm foggy and hazy on this one because y'all sent me the story, but I have no telephone. What is this thing? The question is, we'll do the question first and then we'll fill in the blank, I guess. I want to know, at any point, will Alina Habba need a lawyer? Now, y'all were telling me that she was trying to move his assets from New York to Florida. Okay.
Before he loses them all to Letitia James and E. Jean Carroll.
So they couldn't get anything. Like being watched. What are you? And how intelligent is Letitia James? I mean, this ain't her first rodeo, but she knew to put somebody in place to watch this man.
Really saying Alina Habba may need antibiotics and a lawyer.
Not again with you. MyKneePants.com. Oh, Lord. Penicillin too.
Trillion, time out. Time out.
You know, there were some pictures of some people not shaking his hands at CPAC.
Like,
Or the
ooh, how
ones not in-
You know, I'm wondering if because he got so sensitive about that article that came out that says that he stinks, I wonder if he went above and beyond of like spraying like gallons of cologne on himself to mask the scent of every horrible
Ain't
thing.
he supposed to be the germaphobe?
Mm-hmm.
He is the germ.
What
He
was
can't
that?
get away from himself.
What was that guy's name that was in the impeachment? The Republican guy that left Congress. What was his name? Liz Cheney, and then that other guy.
That guy. That
Kissinger.
guy. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Well, he was saying that Trump smelled like a mixture of bronzer, self-tanning lotion, body sweat, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm like, ew.
Kinzinger. Thank you.
Adam
Kinzinger. He said that in an interview that it was just like a whole bunch of stuff that he smelled like, and it's just like, ugh.
I forgot our question. What's our question?
Will she need a lawyer?
Gonna need a
Oh
lawyer.
yeah, will Alina Habba need a lawyer?
I forgot it too, and I had to look just now.
I get the giggles and I forget the question.
We get a little off track. We're not news reporters. Okay, roll with the punches, people.
I get a yes. She's gonna have there's growing problems because she's making the lies bigger and bigger and bigger, and she needs to cut it out. There's something here that she did that was treacherous or will be doing that is very treacherous, that puts her in a lot of danger legally. But it's growing. There's growing problems that need to be cut out. Kind of like, what was it that she did? She got caught trying to move his assets to somewhere in Florida to hide them.
That's why I asked.
Homegirl, after the judge said, and you did it anyways. And she owes like what, over $1 million in taxes that they haven't paid? Yeah.
She's gonna need a lawyer. And she's about to get kicked out by Trump, I think, too, from the whole family. So
how long before she's even allowed to keep her license?
She's about to be out in the cold from working for them. But yeah, big problems that came up in court. She's going to be put in defense mode for something treacherous that she did, and tower on her, judgment on her, sneaky thief on her. Yeah, they're going to get her victory.
I had the star and the 2 of Wands first. Tarot lesson time. You see the puddle here, and you see the streams here. This is for the present, that's for the future. These streams, wherever they go, you will eventually meet them, and that's the provision that you're providing for the future. This is also an indication.
It could also be the Trump Mar-a-Lago swimming pool and the Mar-a-Lago basement.
Their server room. But it is also trying to tell you that what you are doing right now, you will see again later. And it is also providing sort of a foundation for what you're doing in the future. So this is why it's good to sow good things. So what she is doing right now with the 2 of Wands, there's plans and blueprints. She is sort of setting the blueprints for what is about to happen later. And so since she is frauding now, she will need a lawyer later. So this is almost like she can't turn it now. It's kind of too late.
There's also, it's hard to see, but there's ripples on that water, the ripple effects of what you're pouring into.
Which you're currently doing.
But see, this is what I don't understand. Alina Habba is a lawyer. She went to law school. She got
allegedly, allegedly.
got a license, all this other stuff. What is it? Like, does Trump just rub off on people? Because I'm sorry, when that is your livelihood, your career, your license, your reputation, like, good luck getting getting picked up by a firm or whatever after this mess. What is it? Does he just rub off on people? Because a client can't be that wonderful that you're willing to risk it all to act a fool in court.
I have a suspicion. Can we read on it?
Yeah. What
And
is
like what is like kind of like the Tim Scott thing? What is she trying to get out of this? What is the allure for her?
Right.
Because his mentality is weird for people who continue to support him when you see everybody else falling off.
That's what I'm saying. And he had another lawyer there too. And that guy, you never heard a peep out of him. It was all Alina Habba doing the performative dance.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that keeps getting fined. She's the one that keeps getting told to shut the F up by the judge. You know, she's the one that's, so it's like,
Taco Penis dropped him.
yeah, if your client is so wonderful, why is he in the situation that he's in right now? And why would you, as a sane person who is supposed to be giving him legal counsel, you're just sitting there like a dog doing everything he tells you to? I just don't understand. She got sanctioned $1 million. She filed that frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Clinton. I think that's where she got fined. She was being disrespectful to the judge. It's like, what is the allure?
Because she wants to go on all the podcasts and Fox News and these type of things.
That's so short-sighted, though, Johnny. That is so short-sighted. Trump is a stain you ain't ever going to get off. There's not enough bleach in this universe to get that stain off of you. That other lawyer, though, he never said nothing. He said one or two things, and then he was quiet as a mouse the rest of the trial.
You know, her ego thought that she could win for him, is what I get. She really thought, you know, even though he's corrupt, but her ego got in the way and she thought she could win for him. Now, all this illumination on her abilities, you know, to defend. She's looking at getting her own lawyer now.
I get that. But what is the allure? She's burning through that cash really fast. She's got financial problems, business problems. I don't know if
her and her husband both.
Yeah, but this is the card of the entrepreneur. So if she's got a business or whatever, it's in trouble. And the money, just as soon as it comes in, it goes right out. It gets taken away, and it's getting lower and lower and lower. So it's not so much, according to this, and I only pulled 3 cards, I don't think this is so much as her being allured to Donald Trump. It's she's trying to get more of this because it keeps getting taken away. As quickly as it comes in, it goes right out. And also, this is the king of clubs. So this could be Trump. A lot of losses. So this man here that is problematic and confused has a lot of losses. He has a lot of anxiety. See what I'm saying? So again, why? Did you not see what just happened to Rudy Giuliani and everybody else, and John Eastman, and what's that other guy, Pete Navarro, and all them? Are you trying to go down that road too?
Yeah, Jen got all my cards. There's the 2 of Cups here, agreement, 5 of Wands, and Justice. She thought she could fight, and it's all about ego. The Tower for me is the egotistical. That's where the crown blows off the top, because it's all hubris. You think that you are above until you fall down. The sad part is the world gets to see you fall because you climbed that high up. And so, and then there is the 6, right? The 6 of Pentacles and the Judgment. There's some sort of, I guess, maybe judgment against you where you have some sort of payouts. I don't know if there's not a fine, but well, there's the taxes thing is not settled though, is it?
I think they're being investigated. I think.
Okay, there's some sort of judgment. If it's coming, maybe, but there's a judgment against your monies, and so there's a bunch of payout there too.
I know that they paid $1 million in sanctions for that frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Clinton, and then she was fined. I think it was 15,000 or was it 20,000 for every time Trump was being a jackass in court. The lawyers were fined, but she keeps doing it. Like, I guess she just likes to write them checks. I mean, crap, if you got 15 grand to throw around, I'm right here, girlfriend. I could use some.
I mean,
right there, he needs a new phone.
And at least 2 Motero decks.
You know?
Okay. One more, and then we have a little show and tell we got to do here. Okay, that was her. So, Donald Trump did not get 40% of the Republicans to vote for him in South Carolina. In the greater scheme of things, because Nikki Haley is being stubborn and she won't drop out.
She knows something's coming. She knows he's going to be indicted before.
She said this. I don't know if she said it or if Twitter was just quoting it like she said it, that she was waiting for him to go to jail and then she'll be there. But
he'll be, if he's the nominee, he'll be a convicted felon awaiting to be sentenced to prison. And she's sticking it out because she knows he's going down. That's my take, not the cards, just me.
Well, my question was, he didn't get 40% of the vote in there. Doesn't matter in the long run because the Nikki Haley's voters are saying her or Biden, not her and then Trump if we have to. They're saying her or Biden. So does it actually matter?
How are you phrasing the question?
Does the 40% that he did not get, does it matter to his campaign in the long run? Because there are people everywhere, not just in South Carolina, that are saying they're not going to vote for him at all, but they're going to vote for Biden instead.
What state was that where Biden won the nomination and he wasn't even on the ballot? What
was it Colorado just now or something like Nevada? One of those.
Everybody
had to write him in.
Everybody wrote him in. In that state, it was less than 30% of Republicans that voted. Less than the 30% registered Republicans that voted. So yeah, hey, he walked away with the nomination. He won the nomination, but it was 30% of the entire 100. That means 70% sat it out. Was it New Hampshire, you guys? I see. And Joe Biden wasn't even on the ballot, and everybody wrote him in, and he won.
Yeah, there's judgments on him. It's like the more we hear through the courts of stuff that's going on with him, the more people are moving to turn their back on him. So, his image as a thief. There's a lot of voters that are Republicans that are going to fight this and try to block him. They don't want him in the White House. So will it hurt him? Yeah.
Does it hurt him? Yes, but it's almost like he's not going to be there anyways. I'm not saying he's getting tickets to the park just because the coffin is here. That just means ruin and a lot of loss. And there's a lot, or you're going to start hearing the beginnings of a lot of chitter chatter and a lot of gossip, which the political pundits and everybody else already knows this. He's great in a general election or in a what is it? Not the general, but the primaries. He can't win in generals. And according to these latest votes, he can't even win the freaking primaries because the majority of Republicans are sitting it out. So it's only the little ones that are being very loud and doing this. But no, it's a loss. It's the end. It's kaput. You're done. Stick a fork in it. So
Old Sleepy Joe and Dementia Joe and Low Energy Joe. This old man who can't remember is about to whip your ass too. But
and Joe Biden doesn't have 91 felony counts either. So just throwing that out there. Joe Biden didn't incite an insurrection. Just kind of throwing that out there.
I mean, if we need to go rush Mar-a-Lago, then he didn't call for that just yet. The 7 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. Thank you, Mr. DYL, for my phone. Thank you so much. Bless you. There is the defense and the confusion. Does it hurt him in the end? Yes. Again, there's the star. So what you're doing now meets you in the future. It's having a problem combat with the 6 of Wands and the 5 of Wands with celebrity. There it is again. So this does have an effect going forward. This has actually a significant effect because all he has is his name, the popularity, the sort of mystical hold he has on that crowd type thing. And then when you examine it, half the crowd's paid to be there. So even those numbers are not real. So yes.
And they're saying in the chat that even his rallies are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
They are.
So I have can I please ask just a very small question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We know that he's running, and the only reason that he's running is to keep his ass out of jail and to go on a revenge tour against everybody and anybody that said anything about him ever or tried to hold him to account ever. It's just a revenge tour. That's plus trying to make himself dictator, but he'll be long gone before that happens. But I'm trying to figure out how to word this, because from where we sit and based on all the polling, even though the polling for the longest time was effed up, and then we found out that those polls were skewed, that, oh my God, Trump is beating Biden by 20 points. Bull crap. That was all bull crap, to begin with. Now the polls are starting to, look more like Biden's going to, anyways, does he, and he already lost in 2020. So my question is he afraid of losing again in 2024, or does he actually think he can win? Because all the levers are gone. All the fake electors are in prison. Half the people are being investigated. You're about to go start court here in probably the summer for January 6th. So all the little levers, they're not there anymore. So is he aware that his chances of losing again are pretty significant?
He cheated Joe Biden in the first place and still lost. He cheated Hillary and won because I guess people didn't see what was happening. And mind you, the entire time he ran against her, the thing is rigged. This is rigged. This is rigged, because he knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
And he did, technically.
But now the stakes are higher. Now there's the law and accountability on top of his fragile ego. So does he know that he's going to lose?
By more than he lost by the first time.
Yeah. And and then it's like, what's the plan for next time? Because we all know Trump is a one-trick pony. We all know he's a one-trick pony. What card is that?
I get no.
That's the card of defeat. Defense is going to lose.
I get a no. I get he's so erratic and nuts. His legacy is to fight, to fight, to fight. It's a power thing, even though he lost in the past and everything. He's nuts. And he thinks he can change and come out stronger again. So
I get that he's pretty confident that he's going to be able to achieve this via widespread fraud and manipulation. Internet fraud, all sorts of fraud. Like it's almost like he took what they did in 2020, didn't learn from it, and they're going to try to do the same thing again.
Yeah, like
maybe
denied the electors and everything.
Maybe a little bit different with guidance of people that are in certain places that can be a little bit more help. But I'm getting that he's pretty confident that he can skate this one out.
I think so too, and I think he would have a hard time accepting that he lost.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he can win it.
Yeah.
Before,
I mean, a guy said broken clock is right twice a day, isn't it? You know, like,
well, his only has one hand, so probably not. Before the last question, let me say this. I am, if we get suddenly taken off, because YouTube does not like when you play other people's content sometime during your live stream, and so it will like cut your live stream off. So if that happens, then we're not coming back. So good night and all that. But I'll try this anyway. Giuliani Tarot sent me a clip that was rumored to be Marjorie Taylor Greene trying out for American Idol.
wait, you're kidding me, right?
And I found the clip on YouTube, and I'm going to show you.
In season one, which would have put her around 27, 28 years old, she claimed to be 23 in the clip. But, yeah, she still would have been under the age required for American Idol. So she was in, thank you, lucky girl.
Thank you, lucky girl. Can y'all see that?
She would have been the year that Kelly Clarkson won.
I got the other computer on.